Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome back for my latest review slash recommendations. For those who are new to this channel, I put up these little non-spoiler reviews and recommendations for films, shows, books, games, and so on. I try to focus on only on what I enjoy rather than ranting about what I didn't like. But with this series of Hammer films, I'm reviewing every film in this 20-film Blu-ray set, regardless of whether or not I liked it. This one is going to be for Scream of Fear from 1961, but before we begin, if you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing and hitting that bell icon to get notifications for whenever I put up new content, which is usually 1 to 2 times a week. Occasionally I'll be able to work in a third here and there. Share this video and channel around, and while here, check out my back catalog, as it really does help the channel out quite a lot. Now that that's all out of the way, let's hop into Scream of Fear from 1961, also distributed as Taste of Fear. The only actors I was familiar with going into this was Christopher Lee, who has a relatively small part in this, and Ronald Lewis, who I honestly only know from Stop Me Before I Kill, which was another Hammer film, and I'll put a link to that review down in the description. So, the synopsis for this film is as follows. A wheelchair-bound young woman returns to her father's estate after 10 years, and although she's told he's away, she keeps seeing his dead body on the estate. Well, that was all that I read going into it, and it does kind of a decent, quick job of, getting us up to speed about what it's about. But of course, there's a lot of other details to go here. So, first of all, like many in this set, and likely many from that time frame in filmmaking, this one is also a slow burn, like so many of these other films were. It's short, at only about 81 minutes, but it's a very slow burn throughout, so it feels a little bit longer. But luckily, it doesn't waste any time with that, if that even makes any sense. It just kind of slowly brings us into knowing who these characters are. So it's important what's coming up, but it does feel like it takes its time getting there. So, we get our main character, Penny, played by Susan Strasberg, going to visit her father, who she hadn't seen in 10 years. This is also when she's meeting for the first time her new stepmother, since her father is now remarried. Everything seems fine, and she's getting settled in and everything while her father is away, but can't really get a clear answer about when he's going to be back. And something strange and frightening seems to be happening, such as seeing her father in this pool house of sorts that they have, sitting there dead in the corner. She screams, wheels herself away in a panic, falling into the pool, and when she wakes up 20 minutes later, after having been rescued, returning to the room, her father's not there. So it's just like she just must have imagined it all. Then she was also hearing her father playing the piano, a piano that only he knows how to play, and he keeps locked up at all times. Goes into the room, nobody's there, the piano's locked. Or seeing that his car is in the garage, thinking that he's returned from his trip, going back into the garage, the car's no longer there, nobody's seen it. And then seeing him yet again dead, just sitting in this chair in this one room, and when she tells somebody to come back, he's gone. She's questioning her sanity, as is Christopher Lee's character, who's a doctor, coming in to kind of check in on her. The chauffeur, played by Ronald Lewis, and the stepmother, I mean, they all think that something is just wrong with her. She must be imagining all this. So, though this is marketed as highly terrifying, I mean, the trailer has a lot of stuff about how they can't show you much of the movie because it's so horrific and terrifying, and you must be there from the beginning of the film. Maybe it was considered terrifying and scary at the time, but personally I found it to be more of a mystery and thriller, like some of the other films in this set. It works well, but it does leave one wondering where this is all heading as you're watching it. The path isn't really all that clear. It's moving along, and then at around maybe the 45-minute mark, you start to feel it drag a little bit, and you think, okay, how are they going to wrap this thing up? It's only an hour and 20 minutes, but where are we even going with this? But luckily, in that last 20 minutes, things really do change up with a few twists. 2 twists, in fact, which make this whole journey completely worth sticking through the story to the end, following along, and seeing how they take some twists and turns to wrap this up nicely in the end. So it's definitely worth sticking around to the end to check it out, see what those twists are, and I think you'll enjoy it. And speaking of sticking around to the end, thanks for sticking around to the end of this video. It really does help the channel when people watch the video in full. Like I said, follow all those YouTube things that I said at the beginning if you could. And if you're interested, check out Scream of Fear if you're so inclined. It's in that box set, and it may also be available on some other platforms. But anyways, that's it for this little review here. So I will see you in the next one.